Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get airborne with our third to the last full throttle event for this week. Screen's wrong. Just talked to Matt out in San Diego. There's only 22 memberships remain. This has been the fastest full throttle filling up that we've had in years, which is great. A lot of you very motivated. You get what's going on. You know that this volatility and China stuff and what's going on in the Middle East, you need a good wingman or flight lead to lead you through it, teach you how to do this, and that is, of course, us here at Top Gun Options. So slide's wrong. 22 memberships remain. You need to head to go.topgunoptions.com/getft. Get full throttle. Okay. All right, let's get airborne here. Kind of a top secret tactical training event tonight. I'm going to give you a sample of the type of training you're going to get when you become a full throttle member. It's industry leading. Nobody else out there does it like this. And if they do, they charge you thousands upon thousands of dollars for crappy, outdated training. And it really is, it should be a crime. And it's a disgrace, but not here at Top Gun Options. So there we go. We did our welcome aboard Monday night. We did our PLTB yesterday. Made $1,600 in a day. Essentially paid for a full throttle annual defensive membership with one trade. And in today's accelerated retirement brief this afternoon, I showed you 3 trades that closed on Friday for $6,675 in profit. We're doing top secret vertical spread trading tonight. Going to go for about maybe an hour-ish. And then tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, we're going to analyze the positions we have open across the portfolios and do kind of a weekly debrief. Usually don't do anything on Fridays. That's usually my coaching day. That's usually my busiest day of the week, man. It's like 4 or 6 webinars, individual webinars with you and me, baby. Set up a trade plan for you. Go a year out, you do a full year of coaching. It's one-on-one. Get access to me via cell and email. Great program, but we could talk about that down the road. But we're going to do a weekly options brief. We did the members-only weekly options brief on Monday. This one I'll do on Friday just to brief everybody. If we don't have the 50 annual slots by Friday, I'll open up a couple monthly, but based on the way things are going on right now, I know support's got a bunch of emails from people wanting to get in. So don't know if we're going to have monthly slots on Friday. If we do, you'll find out about it. So tonight, going to go for about an hour. Just gave you the slot update. We got about 21 left. More than half are gone, and I opened them up this afternoon. We're going to close the doors when we get our 50 new members and get airborne with, hopefully, or without you. I'm going to tell you about our full throttle training program, what you're going to get when you become a member. And then tonight, we're going to knock out that sample full throttle training session. Tonight, we're going to talk about what I call a tredge, right? When you place a trade, we looked at a trade yesterday on the S&P 500. We looked at a trade bullish on volatility today. Those were trades, right? I want to make money on a trade. Don't want to lose money. Duh. With a hedge, ladies and gentlemen, you actually want to lose money, right? I never climbed into the cockpit of my F-18 Hornet and sat there and said, man, I hope I use this ejection seat today. It would be fantastic. No, folks. Pulling that ejection handle means it was either death or pulling that handle. And you pulled that handle. So with a hedge, you actually want to lose money. So what I do is the tactic I'm going to cover tonight, it's kind of a mid-level tactic as far as experience. I'm going to go through it slowly, but don't worry about it because, as I said, I'm going to show you the training program where you're going to learn all of this stuff. We take a building block approach, okay? And I call it it's also called a burner trade. Why do I call it a burner trade? Because I like afterburners. I had 2 of them in the F-18, and I like that. Hi, Wiz. My name is Varouj, and I currently work in a retail job that I hate. I've bought courses that cost me $1,000 to $3,000, and I'm still not making great profit or winning trades. I would love to join your full throttle. So why am I procrastinating? When your system seems legit, I seem to be tired of losing money with investments and classes and investment memberships. Varouj, you just found a home, man. I'm telling you, once you get on the other side of the fence, you're going to look back and say, you're going to be a little upset that you didn't find us sooner, but you're going to be extremely happy. We're going on 10 years in business, man. There's a lot of snake oil running around out there. that ain't us. So Varouche, join, and you're not going to be let down. Why? Look at that volatility on the screen. My best quarter in 27 years of doing this. Lights out trading, folks. 92% win rate, and our October has started out as good, if not better, than the last quarter. We've talked about the Trump deal, which is not a deal. The phase one, it's not phase one. Hong Kong's going to get their teeth kicked in. The Fed meeting coming up. Iran, Saudi Arabia. I'm not even talking about the absolute shit show in Syria right now that the president has caused. Oh, and by the way, earnings. Extremely volatile Q4 coming up, and we're going to have a blast. Okay. So let me tell you how to get airborne tonight. I took these today, folks. These are all today. I want to read these. Charles, I'm on my second month of full throttle and solo. He's in one of our other services called Solo Amazon. We only trade Amazon in that service. I'm on my second month of full throttle and solo. I've been very pleased with my results and what I have learned. I have never seen an approach like this to trading options. So Varouche, listen to Charles. By having a strategic mindset. Wanted to thank you for the opportunity to be a member. I've made over 10 times the full throttle membership cost by applying what I have learned so far. My biggest winner is a synthetic stock on Apple, where I doubled my investment in 2 months. Awesome. And then Dennis, I grabbed his screenshot this morning or this afternoon. Grabbed $1,500 in profit on yesterday's bear call spread in less than 24 hours. Scurvy. Been a TGO member since last December. Nobody does options trading like Wiz. I spent a lot of money elsewhere for a number of courses and got ripped off. People, you got to watch yourselves in this industry. Varouche, he's also talking to you. For the most part, people are selling dreams, not reality. Wiz preaches reality. I'll hit you right between the eyes with reality, folks. He gives solid live training 4 times a year with in-depth instruction. Add to that, if you are following his 3 to 4 live events per week, you will receive valuable tactics to trade in the market. Add to that, he has a helpful online community as well. That's that Ready Room I talked to you about, our online forum. Can't say enough about Wiz and his methodology. If you're going to spend any money on trading the markets, you need to trust Top Gun Options. I took that screenshot yesterday. Tamara, been here 3 years, didn't know what an option was 3 years ago. In all the services I have checked out, TGO is the only one that shows real-time trading, both before I joined and does what he states what he will do for you after. Folks, I'm no idiot, man. I go play a secret squirrel over at other services and join their free webinars and see what they're doing. Are you kidding me? I don't want to poke people who've gone and been at other places, man. Seriously. I sit here listening to these presentations. I'm like, that was 32 PowerPoint slides of absolutely nothing. What are you doing right now? What is your performance? What are your current trades? It's comical. It isn't comical. If you blew a lot of money elsewhere, folks, here's your home. Our best return since getting airborne in 10 years for this past quarter, folks. And look at the smart money. The smart money, the hedge funds are absolutely getting their Varouche. Wiz, I'm in. I want to get airborne. There you go. Welcome aboard, man. Brian, that's true. Slime. Folks, I've seen it, man. When I was at VXX Investments and I started the Options News Network, that's the mothership, right? VXX was the mothership. I started the Options News Network, and we had to have what we call a Chinese wall, right? I had to live in the compliance officer's office to make sure everything I was doing was right. That was instilled upon me from my parents. It was instilled upon me, reinforced in the military. There ain't no gray area, folks. It's either right or wrong, good or bad, and I do my best to be on the damn right side of that equation. Definitely doing a hell of a lot better than the so-called smart money out there. We're blowing away the top 20 hedge funds right now, folks. Let that sink in. How many of you would rather go pay a fee of 2 and 20? 2 and 20 to some dude who has 9 houses in the Hamptons? Or would you rather do it yourself? He or she ain't any smarter than you. I'm going to teach you how to trade volatility to the tune of 23 grand in the last 3 months. I'm going to teach you how to trade the market, the S&P 500, to the tune of $25,000. And emerging markets, Brazil, China, fantastic performance as well, trading those. It's going to be an absolute clown car with trading China coming up, especially with Trump meeting Xi down south in Chile. Proven track record, folks, period. We could prove it. Others can't. Got all of our returns, but we lose some battles. I told you this week, we made 40% on it. I mean, that's not a loss, but we bailed out of CSX, right? So we do have losing trades. I got blown out of the top of an iron condor on Friday in an XLY position. That's not in full throttle. That's over in that solo Amazon service. But hey, man, the objective is to win the war. Losing trades happen. Matter of fact, you ready for this? Professional traders want to win on average 60% of the time. I wasn't even going to ask you for what you think the average professional trader's win rate is, because the chat box gets filled with a lot of crackheadness sometimes. It's like 175. I'm like, or 50. I'm like, whoa. First of all, 100 is physically impossible. I'm doing pretty damn good at 92 in the last quarter. I average about 70-ish, 72% over 27 years. But think about this. Professional traders want to win about 60% of the time. Why? Because they're in it for the long haul. They know that at winning 60% of the time, you are doing fantastic. But we have those unknown unknowns, man. Mnuchin getting on an airplane to go to China. We're 90% of the way there. We have a deal. We're done. We're essentially done. Sunday, breaking news, they're on an airplane coming home. And Friday morning, the market imploded. Well, there was a max loss on a bullish China trade. That happens, man. How many of you, Steve Mnuchin says, I'm 90% of the way there, and then the president tells him to come home. Losing trades happen. I don't want to sit here and blow smoke where the sun doesn't shine and say we are absolutely flawless here. Nobody is, period. We have losing trades. Joel, love this guy, former Marine, turned 10 grand into 20 grand in 3 months. Small account, folks. He started with a small account and turned 10 into 20 in 3 months. And no offense to Joel, he's a Marine, so it's got to be easy. Kidding. Simplify. My son was to be a Marine. So if you started with 10 grand with us 10 years ago, you'd have $3.8 million. Let me get a hell yeah if any of you would like, if you initially took 10 grand and turned it into 3.8. Huh? Of course the answer is yeah. 81% win rate. You can start with as little as 5 grand. I mean, hell, E-Trade, we have a good broker relationship with E-Trade. You can open a margin account with $2,000, right? So you can start with a small account, ladies and gentlemen. What would you do with $4 million? My buddy Shrek, who I went to Top Gun with, that's his call sign, not his God-given name. Hey, man, have a good weekend. Putting down a down payment on a Cessna 210. He made 20 grand in 3 months. Hey, there you go. I'm seeing a common theme here. He's also a Marine. So it ain't rocket surgery, folks. I'm going to teach you how to do this, right? Full throttle. This is what you're going to get. 80% of the members right now in our company are in the max program. What do you get access with Full Throttle Max? You get weekly options. If any of you are skiers, you recognize this, like a black diamond. Let me show you the symbols. Weekly options isn't a black diamond because it's like advanced or scary. It's a black diamond because they're very tactical trades. I have a bear call spread on VXX right now that's kind of hanging out around the stall line. It's Wednesday night. Between now and Friday's close, man, a world of things can happen. So this is a lot more tactical trading. That's why it's like that every Monday at 1 o'clock. Every Tuesday at 1 p.m., you get access to the Primary Live Trade Brief. We did this yesterday. Good hour-and-a-half session. Looked at that Raytheon trade that made about $2,600 in a week, and took a look at some new bearish trades on China and bullish trades on Raytheon. And we also placed a one-day S&P 500 bear call spread that made $1,600. Yeah, you bet. Here it is right here, folks. Here's today's replay. Right here, here's yesterday's replay underneath it, and there's Monday night's welcome aboard brief. Okay, so yeah, I'll post the replay link. When we get done tonight, I'm going to watch some hockey as this video is getting rendered, and then I will post it. So everything will be on this page, so you can see it. And obviously, you can click on this green button here whenever you want to enlist in Top Gun Options Full Throttle. When we get 50, though, these buttons come down and the sales page goes away, period. No, don't be 51. Trust me, don't be 51. I laugh at those people because that means you're number one next time. You also get access to accelerated retirement. We did that this afternoon. every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. And then you get access to what we do tomorrow. We analyze the portfolios across the board, and then we do kind of a weekly debrief, right? Full throttle max. That's what you want to be in, period. As I said, Fridays are usually reserved for my one-on-one coaching folks. Okay. So if you can't attend, if you looked at that schedule right now and you said, hey, man, I work during that time, we send out time-sensitive text alerts, right? And an email alert. Soon as I find a trade and I press fire, a text alert right there sends, and then an email sends with it. And then obviously I post the replay within about 30 minutes. It takes 30, 45 minutes for this replay from tonight to render, and then for me to post it. But folks, you get the email, you get the text alert, watch the replay whenever you get a chance. I know folks who just kind of Sunday afternoon, they're hanging out instead of watching the NFL. They sit there and watch the replays from the week or whichever one they wanted to see, right? Now, this is what I want to focus on before we do our training tonight. This is, folks, this is $897 alone. I sell these 8 training sessions for almost $1,000. So this is a fantastic deal, the total package. We're going to take a building block approach. So if you're sitting here going, man, I don't know what a iron condor is, well, don't worry, man. That's session 8. We take a building block approach. We start with the basics. Here's a market. Here's a call, here's a put. I mean, these first 2 sessions, caveman, cavewoman-ish. If you just flew from the dark side of the moon to America and don't know anything, I'm going to teach you. Then we talk about covered calls, cash secured puts, vertical spreads. These are the 7, 8-ish tactics that I employ. In the options pocket checklist that I gave you access to, there's 32 tactics. Folks, I flew an FA-18 Hornet. We could carry, I think it was like 72 different weapons. You know how many I had to know about all of them. You know how many we used? About 8. So funny numbers there. It is about 8. I'm going to teach you the ones that I use the most. You don't have to be impressing people at a cocktail party with I trade reverse vertical spread, back calendar spreads with a Fibonacci reverse twist. It makes no sense. Right? William, you often state absolute profits without amount invested or capital set aside in the case of credit spreads. That's absolutely false, William. You clearly haven't attended any of our sessions. Every one of these trades, I show the max. That's the first thing I show in a trade is how much capital the trade requires. I've also covered repeatedly that we have what we call an SO. I have what's called an SOP. Based on the accounts, these model portfolios, I don't want to risk more than 5% or $5,000 on any one trade. Want to risk 10? Do double the contracts. Want to risk half that? Do half the contracts. I can't tell you what to do, but William, that's completely not correct. I tell please watch the replays because every trade we've covered so far, I've stressed that that's exactly what the risk is and how much capital it requires. And I'll show you tonight, man. I liked what this was another comment from today. Larry posted this. I always look at the full throttle training. I learned something every time. Helps clear up stuff I thought I had down. The live briefs are awesome. How many other companies do that? Live every week and honestly shows the losers and the winners. Choose your training partners carefully. Appreciate that, Larry. So you're going to get access to 8 of these, and we take, like I said, that building block approach. Here they are. Here's the last bunch we did. Session 1, strategic, operational, tactical methodology, 7-step trade plan, Wiz's intelligence sources. Full throttle session 2, options basics. These are calls, these are puts. When you get access to full throttle, get in here and start watching the previous videos. Worth their weight in gold. Larry just said it, man. He says, and I do these 4 times a year, right? These 8 sessions. Get in here, the next, and this is worth the price of admission right here. As long as you're a member in good standing, you're a paying member, you get access to all the full throttles going forward. If the next time we do a full throttle, depending on attrition, might be January or February, you get into that one for free. You don't pay anything else. Once you pay for full throttle, you're in here for good for these courses. And I said you're locked in against any price increases. So if I raise full throttle annual max membership next year to $49.95, you pay what you paid. Hell, we got people here going on year 9 that are paying $495. So I'd lock in right now. You're also going to get your proprietary manuals, man. These are physically worth their weight in gold. Primary, intermediate, and advanced. They have sample tests in there and quizzes. These things alone are $197. Quick review, because I want to get airborne tonight, and the selling stuff gets old for me. You either like it or you don't, and if you don't, do me a favor and leave, seriously, because I don't want to sell anymore. I'd rather talk about trading tomorrow and Friday. You're going to get access to the 4 skill-based trade briefs. If you do max, you're going to get the text and email alerts. You're going to get the 8 full throttle training sessions, and you get access to those 3 manuals. Absolutely fantastic offer. Here's where you need to, this was a nice one. I took a screenshot of this the other day. Wow, Wiz, you called it on that volatility. It sure came back today. Thanks again. Thanks, Buzz. All trades finished for max profit. This was one of those $20,000 in 1 week, trading volatility, the S&P 500, and China. And look at the and some Amazon. Amazing week. Amazon, FXI, VXX, all winners. Just amazing. Thank you, Top Gun Options. That was a couple days ago. Took that screenshot on my phone when I was up in Vermont. So again, folks, don't want to drag you to the water. Depends on which track you want. If you want full throttle max, let me show you right now. The annual membership is $29.95, and it's right here on this page. Let me click this. It's go.topgunoptions.com/FT order. I showed you today, 1 day trade made $1,500-$1,600. 3 trades from last week in accelerated retirement made nearly $7,000. I paid for what? 3 years of a full throttle annual membership. I've already showed you this, folks. And the 2 weekly options trades I have on, if they finish fine by Friday, that'll be another $4,000. Period. Okay, so it kind of depends on what you want to do, what track you want to do. Okay, so you can get airborne right now. We opened it up. Hold on a second. Oh, there goes 2. Mary from Michigan. Welcome aboard. She is a full throttle annual. So now we're down to whatever it was, 19. So folks, these are clicking away, man. So I was referring to stating absolute profit several hours later while referring to a past trade. Not sure what you mean by that. Referring to stating absolute profit several hours later when referring to a past trade, of course you would refer to profits to a past trade. I'm confused. All right, moving on. Full throttle offensive. If you don't want to do max, here's what you get: weekly options, the primary live trade brief, and analyze your trade. What don't you get with offensive? You don't get accelerated retirement. Maybe you like weekly options more and you don't need accelerated retirement. That's a more conservative portfolio. That one is less than $29.95. It's $24.95. If you want to go defensive, guess what's missing? Weekly options. You get access to the primary live trade brief, accelerated retirement, and the analyze your trade and debrief. What's missing? Like I just said, weekly options. Kind of think of the term defensive. Hey man, I'm not ready for weekly options yet. Maybe in a couple months we can give you a call and upgrade. So absolutely, you can upgrade. Those things are good to go. Patty, membership says max. Yeah, you bet, man. Absolutely. If you did the quarterly, you're fine. But yeah, so the other prices, the under membership fees are on here. If you want to do offensive, it's $24.95 for a year. Defensive, $19.95. 1 day S&P 500 trade made about $1,600. Almost paid for that. The 3 trades from last week: Raytheon, bearish on volatility, and bullish on the S&P 500, made $66.75. I think if you add all those together, that's the accelerated retirement profits in 1 week. Okay. Again, folks, if at this point you're still sitting here going, I don't know if this is for me, I kind of don't want you to sign up. Sunil, what's the link to join? It should be in the chat box. Let me put it up again, and hopefully I said your name right. This is easy to remember, folks. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT full throttle -order. Everybody look over here in the chat box. I'm pasting it again in there. So Sunil, it should be over there for you. Okay. Okay. Charles, if you just want to do the weekly options service, it's $9.95 a year. We kind of price it like that to say, hey, it's almost cheaper to do something else. But if you really just want to do weekly options, which some of our folks do that, they just do weeklies or just accelerated retirement, you have to shoot an email to support. Okay. We do have, I hate doing this because the confused mind, but if you're going to be an options trader and this confuses you, you shouldn't be an options trader. We do have access to just, Charles, if you're interested, just weekly options and the primary brief. We do Monday afternoon and Tuesday afternoon, and it's $195 a month or $17.55 per year. So if you're interested in something like that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to stick to the full throttle stuff, and we need to get going. 85% of our current members are in max. You can upgrade whenever you want. 80% of everybody works, and they just watch the replays, get the text and emails. And Charles, I'll give you that link if you're interested. If you just want to do weekly options, email support@Top Gun Options, and they'll hook you up with just weekly options. It's $9.95 for an entire year. But let me send you the link to that page in case you're interested. And just to remind everybody, we do have a new service. It's not in full throttle. It's called Solo Amazon, and that is not included in full throttle. Hence the term Solo Amazon. Okay. Folks, trading options isn't complex, but even if you think it's complex, we're going to battle that with simplicity. It's the superior training, teaching you how to manage risk, to stay disciplined, and to apply everything live in the market here. Easy to follow system. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT. Tamara, a senior woman lives in Wisconsin, didn't know what an option was 3 years ago. Now she's doing double verticals and doing, triple digit returns in many of her trades. She's fantastic. So don't sit here and say, this isn't for me or anything like that. So, let me take a look at that. Oh, thanks. You know what, folks? Let me show you what Dutch had to say. I'm going to grab that, Dutch. I appreciate that, my friend. Hang on one second. Let me grab a screenshot of this. All right. Hold on. Dutch said, Wiz, I began trading long before online access. I was self-taught for many years. I had fantastic years and horrible years, primarily because I didn't have a strategic mindset. I spent time in a day trading room in the 90s. Oh, my God, man, I remember those. I progressed to using mentors, gurus, most of which only wanted to sell me more indicators and services. Yep. You are the first and only person I've used that is upfront and no bullshit. I'm in annual Solo Amazon and full throttle max. You are the man. You call like you see it. My brother, I appreciate those kind words. That's very cool, Dutch. I remember those rooms like down in Orange County, and wow, the sweatshops, man. And Dutch, one of the reasons I made Top Gun Options was to combat that type of stuff, man. It sucks. I hate bumping in or hearing from members like, dude, I'm finally happy to be here, but man, I've been getting killed all over the place. So that's great. Okay, we need to get airborne because I want to actually do some training. Salim, of course you acknowledge past successful trades. You also spoke of your losses as well. Ignore the bullshitters. Go with Salim, thank you, my friend. I want to grab that one as well. Salim, good for you, man. Uh, thank you, Salim. Listen to Salim. That's great. All right. So two choices, folks, and then we have to do some training. You can do nothing. You can sit here. You can enjoy the next 2 days for free, do a little more shoplifting, or you can get airborne today and take your trading supersonic. Seriously, man. Uh, there have been, full throttle weeks where we filled up by tonight. There's some where we filled up by Friday. I just know that we're going to fill up by Friday because we always do. There's never been a time where we haven't filled. And tonight, and there's another one. And tonight, hell, we might be in the single digits here before we get done with the night. Greg, welcome aboard from North Vancouver, British Columbia. That's Full Throttle Max. Greg, who's your hockey team? This is Howard from New Glarus, Wisconsin. Howard, welcome aboard. I have no idea where that is. You need to hook up with Tamara. She's up there in Wisconsin, and she is a fantastic resource here at Top Gun Options. So my brother, go find him. Boom, look at this. This is Baruj. There he is. Baruj is on board now. He's a Full Throttle Annual Max membership. So that is officially 5 new people since I started this webinar. So the slots are going fast, folks. You train like you fight like you train. That was Rouge is from Boston. Are you a Boston? Are you a hockey fan, man? Can't stand Boston. Love the people, love the history. Can't stand their sports teams. You train like you fight, and you fight. Oh, you're a Varouge. I'm going to refund your money. You're a Patriots fan. Not allowed. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to teach you how to do this. Teach a man to fish and he'll eat the rest of his life. I'm not going to throw fish at you. I'm not one of those services that like some of the like Dutch mentioned. That ain't me, man. And somebody actually brought that up today. They're like, are you going to? I'm like, dude, this is. Did you sleep through the last 3 sessions? This is all I'm telling you is that I'm going to teach you how to do this, man. I managed money in the past. I helped build a hedge fund. I did all sorts of stuff. Now it's time to put the ladder down. It ain't hard. That's what cracks me up about, especially uber rich people in the Hamptons. And I'm like, I know what they do and who they are, and you can beat them. And I'm putting the ladder down to do that. All right, let's go. So earlier today, we did an accelerated retirement brief where we got bullish on volatility. We put a bull put spread on VXX. When you become a member here, I'm going to give you a lecture on the difference between the VIX, the volatility index, or what we call uncertainty barometer, and VXX. For now, suffice it to say, if I'm going to do spreads, I got to use VXX. If I'm going to like buy some calls or puts on volatility, I can use VIX. There's your short explanation, okay? But earlier today, we did a bull put spread on volatility. We did a let me bring up the trade here in case you missed it. The 21, 20 and a half bull put spread on VXX. Let me bring this up. Okay. Let me bring up a chart. Now, real quick, let's go take a look at back at the screen. If you're looking at this trade right now going, oh my God, it's down 25%, $600. You completely missed why we're in this trade. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was a Howard. If see, Greg, you remember people's names better than I do. So this trade showing a loss right now means absolutely zero to me. Like I just showed you the one buzz on, I think that was StockTwits or my YouTube page. I hold a long volatility trade, folks, more or less to expert. Did everybody grow up watching? What was that guy's name? Ron Pompeo, like the easy, the Ronco fishing rod or whatever, the set, the oven, set it and forget it. When I do long volatility trades, I set them and forget them, right? Set it and what do I mean by that? You know how many times it's been a Thursday, a Tuesday, a whatever, and somebody's like, "Oh my God, Wiz, this long volatility trade's completely underwater, man." I'm like, you know what I do? I love this movie. I love watching it. Whenever my son's home from college, we watch it. What do I do, man? Well, who do I bring up whenever something's looking bad? That guy, Braveheart, right? William of Wallace, as Longshank's forces are bearing down on him. Because why? Do you know how many times a bullish volatility trade's been underwater because everything's great, and then Thursday afternoon, Friday morning, or Friday afternoon, something goes wrong, and it completely flips the other way? I've seen people have been like, "Oh man, I bailed that." Right here is a perfect example. There was one right there. People were like, "Oh my God, Wiz, this bearish or bullish volatility trade's awful." Boom! It went from being down like $4,000 to up 5,200, whatever it was. I forget what that trade. I think it was a burner trade here. And people are like, "Oh my God, you're right. I have to cue the slides." Top of the slide. What's it say, man? Stay disciplined. Okay. And I think I do a fairly decent job of saying this, and I'll say it again right now when we go back to the trading screen. There is a distinct possibility between now and next Friday that this trade is losing, quote unquote, a lot of money. I don't care. I care where it is by October 25th at the closing bell. Hell, I remember one of these weeks, it was like 3:22 in the afternoon, and Trump sent out a tweet about whatever it was, and the market imploded and the VIX went up. Okay? So let's talk about something right here. A trade and what I called a burner trade, right? Right now, the tactic that is on the screen is called a bull put spread. I'm bullish on volatility. I'm using puts, and it's a spread. Okay? And somebody else, David Lagunier, Pennsylvania. I used to know how to pronounce that, Finn. Lagunier, Pennsylvania. Welcome aboard, David. Defensive. I think I pronounced that wrong. Anyway, no, Paul. It's a VXX versus VIX isn't necessarily a tax concern issue. Well, there's a couple of reasons. Real quick, I don't want to get too into the weeds on this, but ladies and gentlemen, one of the benefits actually to trading the VIX over VXX is how does the VIX settle? The VIX settles in cash. The S&P 500, SPX, the Russell, RUT, they all settle in cash. But if you trade the IWM or the SPY, they settle in what, folks? Shares. So if you get blown out on one of those, you're going to wake up with shares in your account. That cannot happen if you're trading the index. So very good question. But yeah, I don't want to get too in the weeds on that. We'll get into that down the road. Greg, as a newbie to options, my broker won't permit STO orders until I have 2 years options trading. So how can I do buy to open, sell to close options with TGO instead? Greg, let me tread very carefully after saying there is no gray area. There's only black and white. When you open an account with a broker, they ask you, what's your options trading experience? And if you tell them, well, I'm kind of new, they're not going to let you trade anything. And they say, well, that's because we care about you. It's because they don't want you to blow out and end up suing them. So what I would do, Greg, and this often works, is you can pick up the phone. You have to call their risk management department, right? And you need to say, hey, man, I'm over at Top Gun Options, and I'm learning how to do all of this stuff. They can look at your account on a one-off basis. Okay, they can say, all right, well, when you answer, automated form questions, opening a brokerage account, and you answer it honestly like you did, you kind of get, I'm going to say, put in the penalty box. Okay, but you can pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, man, I'm in a world-renowned, subtle plug, world-renowned training system, and they should be able to hook you up. Okay, all right, let's move. Yes, what is on the screen right now is called a credit spread as well. You see it down here, it says credit. We're bringing in potentially $4,000 to do this trade. Okay, and let's take a look at the metrics. So like I answered a question earlier, you ready for this? As soon as I click on this Analyze tool, I want you to look at one place and one place only. Matt, I'm about to answer that question. In 3 seconds, you're going to look at the sad face. 3, 2, 1. What's the sad face say? Max potential loss is $4,700. Now, quick options teaching. That, ladies and gentlemen, is based on what? 175 contracts. You don't want to risk 4,700 bucks. You don't do 175. You want to risk 9 grand. You do 350 or whatever. I'm not going to do mental math here. It's late. So this is the max potential loss. So again, folks, I can't give you individual investment advice. You're getting to eavesdrop in on what I'm doing, what I could potentially be doing. So you scale these contracts on this side to fit you, right? That's what an RIA does, a registered investment advisor, a broker dealer. They go out to lunch with you, make you pay for the lunch, and then what's your risk tolerance? How much do you make? What do you this? What are the kids? They should, well, they're supposed to do all of that stuff, and then they can give you investment advice. I'm not giving an investment advice. I'm telling you how I trade options, and you can look over my shoulder. So if you don't want to risk 47.25, you change the amount of contracts. Okay. So good question. But that's every brief you're going to see me say, this is how much we can potentially risk. Why? Because you are the PIC. You are the pilot in command of your portfolio, not me. We're both flying single seat fighter aircraft. I'm sitting over here in mine. You're sitting over there in yours. No way when we're airborne and I'm teaching you to dogfight, I can reach over and grab inside your cockpit and grab the stick and show you what to do. Can't do it. Okay. So now that I put a check next to this, I'm an aviator. I use a checklist. Aviators, F-18 pilots, Hornet, F-18 pilots, Hornet drivers, options traders. This is the first thing we do in any brief. How am I going to get killed on this flight? What is my max loss? Once I acknowledge that and go, okay, I ain't going to be happy if that happens, but I know what my risk is. Okay? Then we can pick our eyes up here to Mr. Happy Face or Mrs. Happy or gender neutral Democratic debate stage phraseology. Right? Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you want to, as often as you can, trade the one that settles in cash, not the one in shares, baby. Yeah. So this bull put spread is also called a credit spread. And one of the reasons we love doing credit spreads is because we love being the house. Living down here in South Florida, man, driving past that Ferrari dealer, I just kind of laugh. Why? Because the dude having the midlife crisis pulling out of the parking lot doesn't realize what just happened to his $250,000 Lamborghini. What happens when you buy a $250,000 Lamborghini and pull it out of the parking lot? It goes down in value and depreciates. Period. Right? So I would rather be a seller of, I'd rather sell something, right? I'd rather be a seller of options because I get positive theta. In this case, in this spread we're talking about, you're the car dealer, man. And guess what happens? Every day that goes by, you look at that theta, that circle down there, you're making money. As we hop in our time machine and go forward, you make money. As a matter of fact, if VXX just kind of sits here, what do? You make money. If VXX tomorrow is unchanged, you get money. Unched on the day equals time decay, right? So you want to be a seller of stuff. The only time, and I'm going to teach you in the full throttle training, the only time you want to be a buyer of something, rarely other times, I'm not going to say only times, sometimes we do long calls, right? I'm not the best with long calls. You know why? Because they're stupid. I know John and Pete pretty well. The unusual options activity. Well, we're seeing a lot of buyers in this name at this strike. Who? We don't know. Why? I don't know. Just a lot of big buyers here. That's the dumbest way to trade options I've ever heard in my entire life. I've been in an options firm where we've had major movements to cloak things, to hedge, and to do other, I'm not going to say nefarious things, to do what is best for our firm. Okay? So I'll leave it at that. So let's go back to the trade here. Baruch, yes, this trade is still good for tomorrow. I'd still like this trade for tomorrow. Or if you wanted to be a little bit more conservative, you could go down to the 20 and a half bull put spread, and that would risk, whoa, that was weird. Let me check the math out here. 16 cents. Yeah, that makes no sense. Remember, folks, after hours, they're usually updating a lot of this stuff, so that makes no sense. Or you could go down 50 cents for Rouge. Okay, so seriously, sometimes I'm a call buyer, and it usually doesn't work out for me. Hey, I heard Apple might buy Twitter. Oh, fantastic. Let me go buy some calls. I heard such and such is going to have great earnings. Okay, let me throw some buy some call, and they sucked. I'm not a dart thrower, folks. I've done that in my options career. It's stupid. Learn from it. Don't do it. The only time I'm going to recommend you buy calls, you're looking at it on the screen. Let me go back to the chart. This is the top secret tactic. You ready for this? Look at the VIX, the uncertainty index. One of the best times we've had recently was when the Wall Street Journal had an article that said, right on this date, go back and watch the replay from this one. It's epic. I saved it as one of my top 10. The Wall Street Journal had a story that said, it is eerily quiet right now, and people are getting back to shorting volatility. I spit my coffee out. We got in the brief, and I said, folks, for the love of God and all things holy, get long volatility. Whenever you see the Wall Street Journal says, here comes the retail trader jumping into the pool, that means Wall Street has pulled the plug in the deep end, and you're going to break your neck. Whenever you see the Wall Street Journal saying it's unusually quiet out there and people are starting to short volatility again, we got long volatility right here, and the VIX was up 106%. The next time I saw something like that and we got long volatility was right there on a Thursday night training session like we're doing tonight. But here's what I'm getting at. Volatility, write this down. Hopefully you wrote it down today. When volatility is cheap, buy it. When volatility is expensive, up here, sell it. The volatility index is a heart rate monitor. It's not a stock, folks. It's not Raytheon or Amazon. It's like, oh, we missed earnings and great. Oh, still up there and woo. It reverts. It's a mean reverting instrument. It reverts to its mean. Think of a really big pasta bowl and put an orange on the side of it and roll it in. It's going to go up and then it ends up in the middle. So the average VIX, ladies and gentlemen, the average VIX since it was founded in 94 is what? A 20. Ladies and gentlemen, if I was on Air Canada right now, I couldn't say it, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I was in the CBOT and the CBO when the VIX hit 90 on that dark day. I've seen the VIX up at 90. The VIX closed today at 1368. What happened at the end of July, the beginning of August, to cause this massive volatility? And this massive volatility has not gone away. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, everything that caused this fantastic performance for our portfolios has gotten worse. China is getting worse. I'm not talking about the trade deal. I'm talking about Hong Kong. Trump screwed up, shocker, the other day doing the whole, I think Xi's doing a fantastic job with Hong Kong. Fantastic, terrific. Nobody does Hong Kong better than Xi. Are you nuts? Sound like LeBron James. Hong Kong, tomorrow's Thursday. We got Friday. We have a weekend. Xi Jinping is more or less. What was his quote the other day? We're gonna crack skulls or whatever the hell he said. I told you folks, he's going to force Trump to choose. I'm not going to get into all this stuff. And I briefed you all on this already. Beijing warns, hey man, you need to remove a couple tariffs. The last ones. Nope. You have to remove every tariff you've put on us for us to even buy some soybeans. Oh, David, you're right. Grind bones to powder. What a nice dude. The president talks nicer about a guy that wants to crush the bones of his people into powder than he does his own Fed chief. So China, negotiations, Hong Kong. I'm not even going to get into what's going on in Turkey and Syria and this absolute national embarrassment that this president has put us in. The impeachment stuff I laughed about. It's disgusting. They're committing treason. I'd hang these people. These deep state, disgusting human beings. I wore the uniform of this country for 15 years. They are traitors and treasonous. Could you imagine if people were doing this to Obama? For the love of God and all things holy, it's insanity. So, but why am I ranting about this? I can destroy Turkey's economy. That's great. They're a NATO member, and I thought we were buddies. Apparently not. That's volatility. The trade deal's volatility. Iran, I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, between now and my birthday on December 31st, there will be a major military action in this quarter. Oh, and by the way, we have a Fed meeting coming up, and where we're officially, not officially, doing QE. You want to talk about volatility, folks? So tell me what this is my strategic mindset, bearish to volatile. Tell me what the bullish case here is, folks. Earnings. JP Morgan was good and then gave crappy forward guidance. Goldman Sachs sucked. Bank of America sucked. Citigroup sucked, and so did Wells Fargo. Earnings kicked off with a thud, ladies and gentlemen. What am I getting at? I'm rambling way too long here about my commit criteria as to why, especially after a smash in volatility. When volatility does this, kind of like everything's great, I'm yawning. No, nothing's really, everything's quiet. That's like a slow descent. When you see these volatility smashes, right, like that, it ain't done, man. Whenever you see a volatility, look at that. Smash, 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 pop, pop, pop. Little smash, pop. So what I'm telling you is between now and next Friday, I don't know what it's going to be. This is why you're in the live trade briefs. I just gave you 90 different reasons about why, I think volatility is going to pop. So let me ask you, and I'm not trying to poke at anybody's intelligence. You ready? With a bull put spread, what have I said? I put a floor in underneath. Well, let me go back to VXX. Sorry. With a bull put spread, I put in a floor. Look, we're back to before the storm, the quiet before the storm VXX-ish back here, and all this. Can it go lower? Sure it can. We can have peace, love, and understanding break out between now and next Friday. And you know what? I'll be thrilled. I won't care about losing money on this trade because I'm going to be happy. That's not going to happen. So with a bull put spread, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think VXX is going to go lower or it's going to stay where it is. But let me ask you a basic question, okay? Basic question. If you don't think something's going to go down, what is the opposite of that statement? If I don't think, I definitely think it's going to, I think it's going to go up. I think volatility is going to spike for one of the reasons I've rambled about for the past 12 minutes. There's your commit criteria. So if I don't think volatility is going to keep going down, boom, bull put spread. But ladies and gentlemen, what did I just tell you? I think we're going to see a pop. What could we do? Well, folks, on your screen is what? The bull put spread. Why don't we, and we're bringing in how much for this trade? $4,000. We're bringing in, you get paid $4,000 when you do this trade. What can we do if we think something's going to pop and go up? We can add some calls. Why don't we buy some upside calls? I thought you don't like buying calls. You didn't listen to me. I said I don't like buying calls unless somebody else is paying for them and the market's going to buy these calls for me. Isn't this awesome? So what calls do we buy? I don't know. Let's take a look at the chart. This is an implosion. What's half this implosion? right around here, maybe the 24s. Let's go out to next Friday, buy, I'm going to put calls, the 24 calls. Okay. Now I'm probably gonna do maybe 50 of these, but I'm gonna reduce these to maybe like 150, 150. Oops, yeah, 150, 150. Okay. Now I'm gonna click on Analyze, and I want you to look. You guys are figuring it out. You ready? Just don't. I know I've drilled into your head. Look at the max loss. Don't do that right now. The one time you don't, just look at the picture. Take a look at this picture. I'm going to be a horrible artist here. This is me sitting in my, well, I'm just going to use a dot. That's me sitting at the end of the runway in my F-18. I go to full power, get to takeoff speed. I put my gear and my flaps up. I get to the end of the runway. Burner trade. What is the max potential profit in this trade? It's unlimited. Why does it say that? Well, technically, folks, if you buy long calls, volatility can go to infinity and beyond. Buzz Lightyear. So technically, there's unlimited upside on this. So I kind of like this one because if something does happen that's bad between now and next Friday, it's probably going to be pretty bad. There's a lot of bad going on that I'm sitting here on a daily basis looking at the market going, when are you going to wake up to what I'm looking at and roll over? It's right. 3,000 or 30, 15, 30, 15, 30, and tried to get up, and no. Our next stop, in my opinion, is the 50-day moving average. The market's going to roll in, and volatility is going to go up. Nope, this isn't an iron condor. This is called a burner trade. Now, let's look at max loss. Right around my SOP, I'm risking $5,200 to make infinity and beyond. But this should put a smile on your face right here. Everybody look at this. You're still getting paid to do this trade. Hold on a second, Wiz. Let me get this straight. Push back from the table here. You are telling me somebody just walked into your house. Hopefully you know them and you don't shoot them. Somebody just walked into your house, sat down at your table and said, you know what? I'm going to pay you $2,200 to be bullish on volatility between now and next Friday in case the market freaks out. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm telling you with this burner trade. Now, I'm going to call this two names tonight. It's also called a tredge. Why is it called a tredge? On your screen, ladies and gentlemen, is a trade. I want that's in my mind. I would not do this trade if I didn't think it was going to make money. That's stupid. You don't place trades to lose. But also on your screen is a hedge, folks. In my other portfolios, we got a lot of longs, right? This trade is a hedge against what? What I just told you I think is going to happen. Market pulls back to the 50, volatility goes up. Isn't that awesome? So as some of our long-term bullish positions out a couple years in some of our other portfolios, I haven't shown you any of those yet, as they're getting kicked around and maybe showing a little red, you're making money on the front month with a tredge. Does that make sense? Okay. So, yeah, Arthur, that sounds about right. Let me go take a look at it. Let's take a look at the, yeah, if you kind of slide along the, and guess what this is, folks? Net, this is still a credit spread. So what are you getting? Because one of the main reasons, folks, I don't like buying calls is what? I don't like being the dude with the midlife crisis buying the Ferrari. Because when you just own calls, you lose money on what is called theta, that time decay, right? So this is still a credit spread and we still get theta. But yeah, Arthur, let's go fly a little bit up to, what's realistic? I don't know, Arthur. I mean, we did see, where did we peak out recently? 26. I mean, the VXX was up at 26, last week? So let's go up to 26. And if your math says, where's 26? 26. Yeah, Arthur, you're right. Realistically, if VXX between now and next Friday goes up to 26, look it down here, folks. You guys keep your eyes down here. That's $15,000 in profit. I should pause. Well, no, I'm going to stay with my flow here because we're on timeline. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple weeks ago, we did a burner trade. We did a couple burner trades. We did a burner trade on Delta. We did a burner trade last month. And these were bearish. We did a burner. You ready for this, folks? We did a burner trade on FXI that made $17,500. One of my private clients made 20 grand. One trade. It was this trade, but upside down. It was a bearish burner trade. And I'm kind of, yeah. I mean, this can happen, folks. We wake up Monday morning and Turkey and Russia are war with Syria and Iran attacks Saudi Arabia or whatever. The VIX, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen the VIX go up 50% in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. But this is also one of those trades where you set it and forget it. Jeff, that's great. I remember that. So Jeff was one of my private coaching clients. He's an Air Force guy, so it took him a little longer. He made $3 grand, and he was trading a smaller account, folks. Jeff did some of those burner trades. So with a small account, he did fantastic. If you did those trades as I showed them, it was 17 grand, it was 15 grand, it was insanity. But it isn't. So what do I mean by that? Because we were doing what I knew was going to happen, man. Right? Oh, here, I still have the lines up from here. This was an 17. So how do we make 17.5? Bear call spread, credit spread, and I bought some downside puts. Boom. That was 17.5 right there. So we do these type of trades, folks. I forgot, I wanted to bring those up, and maybe I can go dig into the member pages and show you that was Jeff. What portfolio was in that, man? I want to go look at those. Robert, absolutely. I can't tell you when to close your trades. You gotta. I'll tell you when I'm thinking. That's why we do this in a brief, right? In a brief, I'll tell you, hey, I'm going to close this when I see maybe outside of a week, I see 70, 80, 90% profit. Inside of a week, this, or maybe I'll eject at that. So that's why we do that as well. Only have 9 days for the shit to hit the fan for this to pay off well. Well, Steve, no, that's not true. Well, you're right about the 9 days, but Steve, guess what happens? If the VXX just kind of hangs out, what do we make? These calls could go out worthless, right? If the VXX doesn't spike, but man, you can still make $2,300. Does that make sense? So I see what you're saying. Like, well, we got 9 days for. You're right. We have 9 days for this to do this, like to see a 15 grand, folks. This is well within the realm of possibility. I'm gonna write that down tonight. I'm gonna go find all the burner trades we did recently. The Delta Airlines one, was it Delta or American or? Man, there was maybe it was PLTB or AR. I'll find them tonight. We've done burner trades this quarter. That's one of the reasons our this quarter is one of the best, is because a lot in these massive swings, folks. Right here, this is shooting fish in a barrel. These burner trades, like this implosion right here, we got short volatility, then short the market, long volatility. It was fantastic. Where the hell is it? But I'll find it and I'll show you all these trades. Okay. It was American. Yeah. So we did it in with volatility, China and American Airlines, and Kevin's saying it was American. What portfolio was that, Kevin? I want to go find that. It was American. I don't think it was in here. I want to show you, because this is a great example of a bearish burner trade. I said, hey, American Airlines is about to implode, and guess what it did? Wait, is this it? No, that's a new one. You can get in here as soon as you become a member, folks. You can get in here and root around, watch the replays, check out the. Yeah, Fred, I'm not a big covered call guy. It employs too much capital. I haven't owned a stock in years. It's, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? Kevin, do me a favor and find out where the that burner trade was. There's a couple of them. I manage 5 portfolios, which obviously are traded with my money as well. So they start to all run together here. Let me see. Well, here was the American Airlines 7 grand. Look at this. This was the one with 7. American Airlines, $7,000 profit. Great week. Look at this. This was October 3rd. TGO members, another great week. I closed the American Airlines burner trade yesterday for a profit of $72.50. It was the FXI one that was 17 grand or something like that. So, yeah. Well, I'm not going to root around here all night. It was FXI and it made $17,500. It was fantastic. Love it. So, but let me give you a little Uncle Wisdom tip here. You only do these type of burner trades when you think you're ready for this. I'm going to throw 3 R's on the screen. You're really, 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 and I'm not kidding when I say this. You need to be that bullish or bearish on something because you need movement, right? To get kind of the sweet profits you're talking about. And whoever just asked, well, if it goes the other way, if it goes the other way, what did I do? The first thing I did when I pulled this trade up was show you what? The max potential loss. We've acknowledged that. But I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that I am a set it and forget it guy with long volatility trades. I'm going to say that again because I want you to listen to me say it. When it comes to long volatility trades, I am a set it and forget it. Why? Because I, in 27 years, have seen at 3:50 in the afternoon on a Friday of expiration, somebody say something stupid, do something stupid, an attack happens somewhere where a losing trade has turned profitable. I am not shitting you about that. I do not close these bullish volatility trades until they are they expire or they hit some serious profit. If that makes sense. So the trade on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, I love. I'm going to leg into it tomorrow. What's that mean? Well, it means I already have this part of the trade on, the bull put spread. I'm just going to add the calls tomorrow. That's called legging into a trade. Okay? So, all right. Yeah, this is on the member page, folks, right? Jeff already did it today. There you go, Navy. So Jeff already beat me to it. He's already in his own burner trade. See, whoever was asking earlier about learning how to do this, Jeff did some coaching 6 months or a year, whatever we did. The guy's a Jedi master now, man. He's out here doing it on his own. He runs his own business. He's a Dora the Explorer flying all over the place, and the guy still gets his stuff done. So good job, Jeff. Terry, won't they assign you 1,500 shares? No. Folks, again, listen to the eject. When do we eject out of a trade? Maybe eject out of a trade. Double the credit that we took in. Folks, I want these 45 cents in my pocket. I want this, right? But if this starts increasing, it might be time to eject. We're going to know, folks, right? But, we're going to know if volatility is like, let's go back to VXX. The only way, ladies and gentlemen, that volatility keeps going lower is what? Breaking news out of Hong Kong. Everybody loves everybody. Breaking news out of Washington. Xi Jinping called Trump and we have a trade deal. The Kurds, Syria, Turkey, Iraq, Iran, Russia all get along. Iran sailed across the Gulf and made out with Saudi Arabia. And Jerome Powell has come out, lowered interest rates to 0, and is doing QE20. It's not going to happen. It can go lower, but that's why, and I'm going to play this recording 90 times if you're not listening. There is a distinct possibility during the life of this trade that it is losing money. On my screen right now, the trade I got filled on today is down $618. Do I care? Absolutely not. I don't care because I have what? a strategic mindset, and I have my commit criteria. Doesn't that make sense? I told you this last night, folks. If you didn't, or Monday night, if you didn't attend Monday night's brief, you owe me 50 push-ups. You have got to watch Monday night's brief where I talk about our trade plan, when we're going to eject, when we're going to take profit. Everything is done. Why do I call these live trade briefs? It ain't called a long, it's called a brief. If this happens, do this. If this happens, do that. Discipline, risk management, superior execution. Okay. So yeah, this is a decent looking trade on the screen. What do you mean, Greg? The mid market on this trade is about 45 cents. Right. This is the bull put spread. The mid market's about 22 cents. And you can play with the calls, folks. You can buy, I don't know. I think it's really going to spike, or I don't think it's going to spike that much. You could do the 23. It's obviously going to impact the price of the trade, right? So. All right, got to be honest, ton of more great questions sitting there in the chat box. A lot of free stuff. So we're done with the free stuff. I think we have, I'm going to rough eyeball this and say maybe 17 slots remaining. So welcome aboard. There's looking at my Gmail here, there's about 11, I think that's about 11 new members. So this is the biggest full throttle day that we've had in a long time. Jeff, good. Jeff's been here for a couple years. And it's funny, Jeff's coming for the full throttle training tonight. He's a member. He kind of knows what he's doing. Look at what he just said. You just taught me something else tonight on the burner trade. I didn't take into consideration what credit I received for the trade. It will all be good, but thank you, brother. Exactly, folks. Isn't that great? You're getting paid to be hedged against a market pullback and a volatility spike. You're getting, I just told you, somebody walked into your kitchen and said, hey, I'm going to take care of your insurance for the next month. That's what the trade that I just showed you, man. Now I'm going to tell you, when it comes to a trade, ladies and gentlemen, if by next Friday, that trade goes out worthless. If you're going to be upset that trade lost money, do not sign up for Top Gun options. And I'm pausing for effect, and I mean that. I do not get out of the F-18 Hornet after a flight over Iraq and look at the ejection seat and go, what a waste. I would have rather had the 800 pounds in gas, stupid ejection seat. You will be, and you are, an awful trader. You never lose money on a hedge. Well, Wiz, it's showing negative 600. You never, if you're the type of person that goes, hey, I made 18 grand, on a couple trades, but I lost 3 on that, trade. So let me get this straight. You're bitching that you made 15 grand? Well, yeah, but I could have made more. If you're I could have made more, don't sign up. I'm being serious. That's you're wrong. Or maybe do sign up and I'll try to convince you. You do not lose money on a hedge. I've been in massive boardrooms and I've seen some serious money go. I've seen money evaporate that I would never imagine seeing in my entire life, and people go, thank God the bad didn't happen then. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think like that. I didn't know you people would. Give me a vertical head nod. I'm not kidding, folks. If you're I could have made more, I don't want to know you. That is not the way you dogfight and fly this market. Right? Jeff, this is great dogfighting with amazing wins. I'm not dead yet. Don't wait. Join now. Picture of Uncle Wiz. You got it, Jeff. All right, guys. Like I said, I think we're down to mid-teens of members. This has been the best night, and I know support before I jumped on the air, she said I got like 20 emails to answer. I don't know what people are emailing about, but there's the order form. You don't need to call. You don't need to email. You just need to go here. This is it, man. Annual memberships, and then we'll maybe open it up to some monthlies here if we got some room. I think we're going to be full by tomorrow, to be honest with you. This is this is awesome. What we do. We fill up on like Wednesdays and Thursdays when what? People have been seeing massive volatility, and they're probably in services that are getting their asses handed to them. Or some stupid people sitting there going, well, let's do a swing reverse pigeon twit. Oh, crap. Oh, wait. Oh, what? Huh? Uh-huh. Ladies and gentlemen, nope. Technical analysis, you ready for it? Support resistance. Pay me 20 grand for technical analysis court. No broker lets you trade off the left side of a chart. It's stupid. We used to burn witches too. There are some basics of technical analysis I'm going to teach you, and that's all you need to know. Kevin, October through December, best time to join. Profits succeed other times of the year. That's a good point, Kevin. Everybody knows the saying, sell in May and go away. Yeah, the summer, unless it's August, but some of the summers can be boring, right? I love this stuff. I'll tell you again, I don't love it as an American. What's going on with Syria and I mean, the stuff, I'm a student of this stuff. I've lived in the region. I stationed there. I know the Middle East. Been to Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Oman, you name the country. I've been there, flown over it. I breathe this stuff. So you're right. October through December is usually, so get ready for, let me give you the good news besides us printing money. October is going to be a clown car. November, December is going to be like that. So let me give you some hope. If you get some longs in your portfolio that you're like, this is fantastic. This sucks. It doesn't. We're going to get a November, we're going to buy this dip in October when it happens. Not if, when it happens. Okay? So we need to get this done, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. That's exactly right, Jeff. The XRT, the retail calls. I've already told my folks on any big pullback here, we're going to get long Amazon. We're going to get long the XRT, which is the retail ETF. Why? Because we're going to forget about all this stuff come November when we see our fellow Americans the day after sitting around a big table, giving thanks for everything they have, going out and beating the hell out of their neighbor for a flat screen at Walmart to save $10. It's stupid, but we're going to get a Santa. We're going to have a good Christmas. Varouge, you're welcome, man. Welcome aboard. All right, I got to get going. I got kids. Want to hang out with them? Want to watch some hockey? We're done, and we're almost full. Go.topgunoptions.com/ft-order. It's in the chat box, right? Charles, it doesn't. They're on the screen. You click a different button. You see these different buttons right here? See? My marketing department told me that, you know what? You highlight max so it draws their eyes to it. I'm like, all right, do what you do, man. I'll keep the trading. So it's right on that page, folks. Go.topgunoptions.com/ft-order. Maybe I will get this replay posted on this page before I go to bed. But more important, family things. So, Greg, you're the real whiz, man. Glad to be flying with you. Thanks, Greg. Awesome. You bet, Rick. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. We might be done by tomorrow. At this rate, based on the amount of emails I know support has, she has to call some people. I don't know why people are calling. We're probably going to be full, and we might not even have any monthlies on Friday. So I warned you. But thanks. This is great. Having a great week so far. Had a great day today. One day trade with $1,600. I didn't close that, man. I tried to get out of this all day. That made a full. We covered this in one day, folks. If you were in the primary live trade brief yesterday, you could have made $1,600, $1,650. Still bearish on FXI, man. That thing's going lower. Bullish on volatility. Analyze your trade, and weekly debrief is tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and then we'll talk about our weekly options portfolio on Friday. Yeah, you bet. Here's the link to today's accelerated retirement. If you didn't see the trade from today or you didn't see the replay. So the VXX trade is on here. No, sorry. You're not going to be able to open that one. That's members only. Today's. So disregard that link. That link does not work. Here's today's right here. So here is today's. This link will work for you because the other ones are private. They are members only. I made this one public. So let me do this. Kevin, we pay for Wiz's excellent for shading translates into exceptional profits. I appreciate that, man. Kevin's been doing the Lord's work as well here at Top Gun Options for a couple of years. Very smart guy up there to the Great White North. We have like a whole Canuck contingent up there. You guys should all get together sometime. Okay, so here's today's replay. 16 October, close the S&P, get long volatility. The trade is on the screen, and then the replay is down here at the bottom. You just click that. So yeah, we'll cover the burner trade tomorrow live in the market. That is part of our demo do. Tonight I demonstrated. Tomorrow we're going to do. The system works, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? All right, I got to get going. Time for a glass of wine in bed. Have a great rest of your night. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless, and welcome aboard to all of our new Full Throttle members. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock.